I'm a racing fan. I will watch pigs race. That's atrocious. That is disgusting. I never want to see that again. I'm fed up, and you should probably turn this off. Well, everybody, I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you this was going to happen. Look, you guys can go back to the season preview or whenever it was, one of them videos that I said, we are about to enter a new era, in which Hendrick Motorsports is about to dominate NASCAR the way they did in the mid 2000s. Today's win by William Byron is the start of something that is just going to keep coming and coming and coming. So, for fans of Joe Gibbs Racing, Stewart Haas Racing, Team Penske, any of those other teams, I hope you guys had a great time these last couple years because Hendrick Motorsports is back. Hendrick Motorsports is not just back, they are back in a dominant way. Today, William Byron put on an absolute clinic at Homestead-Miami. Now, if you guys go back to last week, I predicted Kyle Larson would go out there and win. He ran very well all day. I think he ended up finishing fourth. But the show that William Byron put on out there, look, you knew he was going to run good. He's won a truck championship, he's won a Busch Series championship, and you had to run well at Homestead because that was where the championship race was held. I believe him and Rudy Fugle won a race together in the truck series when they won the truck championship at Homestead. Look, you knew William Byron could get around the racetrack. I figured he'd run good, but what he did in those last 30 laps, pulling away, I mean, it was not compelling at all. I thought for sure we were going to get one of those fake NASCAR cautions where they try to give you a more exciting finish. Thank God they didn't. William Byron just absolutely drove away and left everybody. I think I read that he ended up winning by like 3.5 seconds. What a run. What a run for that team, for the whole organization. Hendrick Motorsports, look, I'm always going to brag about Hendrick Motorsports. I mean, look what I got right here. I'm always going to brag about Hendrick Motorsports. But what they did today, with William Byron winning, Kyle Larson running very well, running top 5 all day, and was second with, I think, 2 to go, and ended up getting past and finishing 4th. Alex Bowman comes home 9th, and Chase Elliott comes home 14th, but he led some laps earlier. Chase Elliott was up front, running in the top 5, led some laps. That last run, after that last pit stop, I really don't know what was up with Chase Elliott, but he still brings home a top 15 finish. What Hendrick Motorsports did today is exactly what I've been saying is coming. This team is so back, it is not even funny. This team is about to go on a dominant run. I said it last year when Chase Elliott got hot, and then when Chase Elliott won the championship. I said, look, and then they announced they got Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott's your champion. Now you got a hungry Kyle Larson. You got a young William Byron who's only going to keep getting better. And then you have Alex Bowman, who is just so consistent. He's very boring. He's very vanilla, but he's so consistent. He will top 10 you to death, and he will occasionally get that win. This team that Rick Hendrick has assembled right now, this stable of drivers that he's got, this is dangerous. And as far as I'm concerned, the rest of the sport should be on high alert right now, watching for those Hendrick Motorsports Chevys every week, because I really think we are about to enter a stretch of dominance that Hendrick Motorsports has not had since, I would say, the mid to late 2000s, early 2010s, when Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, they were really good. Dale Jr. won a couple races here or there. Mark Martin had that one really good year out of nowhere. That era of dominance might be coming back with an even younger group of drivers. Alex Bowman's the old guy, and I think he's like 27, 28. This is look, it's scary hours. As far as everyone else is concerned, it is scary hours for everybody else. Hendrick Motorsports has got something very special right now, and I really don't know how you're going to stop it. Now, you guys know I could go on and on talking about Hendrick Motorsports all day, but that is not the only team I want to give a big shout out to. Roush Fenway Racing, the cars that they brought to the track this weekend with Chris Buescher and with Ryan Newman, I am very impressed. If we're talking about teams turning the clock back and looking like mid-2000s versions of themselves, that's Roush Fenway today. Roush Fenway the last few years, I really hate to say it, they've been irrelevant. They're just not running well. There's nothing to talk about coming out of the Roush Fenway camp. Today, early in the race, all we could talk about was Roush Fenway. Chris Buescher went out there and the very first stage instantly put himself up there like, hey, I'm the car to beat. Let's do this. Chris Buescher had an outstanding run today in the first two stages. Ryan Newman also with top 10 finishes, I believe, in the first stage. I think he came up short in the second stage. But the first stage, Ryan Newman gets a top 10 finish, while Chris Buescher wins the first stage, still gets a top 10 in the second stage. Whatever this team did this weekend, these two Roush Fenway cars, I would love to see this from here on out at the mile and a halfs and really everywhere. I would love for this team to become relevant again, like the mid-2000s when Roush and Hendrick were kind of going back and forth. I want Roush to get to that level again. Today we saw it. Chris Buescher was the class of the field early until the sun went down, the 24 car came to life, and the Hendrick Brigade took over. But early in the race, shout out to Chris Buescher and all of Roush Fenway Racing because they absolutely impressed everybody, including myself, today. Now, I love to sit here and I love to give shout outs to teams, to drivers, to individual efforts. But there is one thing that I have to bring up, and I can't let this go unsaid today. What we saw today at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, that was beautiful. That was perfect. That was absolutely the best mile-and-a-half race I have seen in a very, very long time. This package, with the aero package, the horsepower, all the, the mechanical side of it, the cars themselves that I don't want to get into, that side of it, along with this track, the multi-grooves that it has, the layout, everything, today's race was absolutely beautiful to watch. I could not get enough of it. I thought this was a fantastic race. Now, that being said, congratulations to Phoenix. You have the championship race, all that. Good for you. I don't like that. Homestead-Miami Speedway, what we saw today, the product that we saw on the racetrack today, there is no reason Homestead-Miami Speedway should not be the championship race for all three series. That was exactly what you would hope a mile-and-a-half Cup Series race would be. It was very interesting. There were comers and goers. It was fun to watch. Great racing. This was just... Look, here's the thing, okay? Homestead-Miami Speedway, we now have two options. Two. Either Homestead gets the championship race, the most important race of the year other than Daytona. Either they host the championship race every year, or we have to give them two dates. If Homestead is going to be the second race of the year after the Daytona 500, which it originally was scheduled to be, how about we give Homestead a second date after the Daytona race in August or July, whatever, we can move that date around. Let's go to Homestead twice. I would love it. This track produced such great racing. It had great racing in the Busch race on Saturday, too. This whole weekend was just a great weekend of racing for NASCAR. Miami should be the championship race with the big party city that Miami already is, or it needs to have two dates on the schedule. Because what I saw today, I did not get enough of it. I don't know about everybody else, but to me, this is the best mile-and-a-half on the circuit, and I believe it should be the host to two races. Now, I have been very adamant about a lot of things on this show. You guys know that. But there is one thing that is really, really bugging me. And it's not going away. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. There's nothing I can do to stop it. I get it. And that is the fact that we are going to have a new Cup Series race car next year. It is the next gen car. The thought process behind this new car, everything that I've read, everything that I've seen, is to promote parity in the sport that will hopefully attract new owners, new sponsors, and can help grow the sport into a better product that isn't dominated by just a couple guys. Now, let's talk, okay? I am a big college football fan. I absolutely love college football. And the past few years, it's getting old that only Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Georgia, those are the only 5 teams that ever have a chance to win the national championship. The college football playoff, more years than not, is those 4 teams or a collection of those and maybe one surprise team, whatever. Those are the only teams that realistically have a shot to win a national championship before the season starts. And I don't think that is good for the sport. I would absolutely kill to see another college football season like the one they had in 2007. If you don't know what happened in the 2007 college football season, there are a ton of YouTube videos about it. You need to go look them up. My alma mater, the University of South Florida, go Bulls, was ranked number 2 in the country at one point. No, I'm not kidding. USF was ranked number 2 in the country at one point. Kansas, Rutgers, and Missouri were also top 5 teams. You need to go check that out. Do some research. Anyway, I would love to see that kind of parity in college football today. I think we're heading there, but that's a conversation for the fall, not right now. That being said, I believe parity is great for any sport. Yes, you want the Dallas Cowboys to be good. You want the New York Yankees to be good. You want Hendrick Motorsports to run up front. I get it. But parity is great for every sport because it keeps fans on the edge of their seat and they don't know what they're about to see. And so that's the thought process behind introducing this next-gen car next season. We were actually supposed to get it this year, but because of COVID, they pushed it back, whatever. I think it's just an excuse. But anyway, next year we will be seeing the next-gen car to hopefully promote parity. That's a waste of time. That's bogus. We don't need it. NASCAR, stop wasting your money, stop wasting your time, stop wasting energy and resources on something that we do not need. We do not need this next-gen race car. There is already parity in the sport. I do believe William Byron will be a champion one day in this sport, but he's not a championship-level driver right now. He went out there, led the most laps today, and won the race by over 3.5 seconds. Is that not enough parity for you? How about Chris Buescher dominating Stage 1? Stage 1, by the way, these guys finished in the top 10 of Stage 1. Chris Buescher, Ricky Stenhouse, Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman, and William Byron. I don't mean any disrespect to any one of those guys. I think they're good. But that's not Kyle Busch. That's not Kevin Harvick. That's not Denny Hamlin. That's not Chase Elliott. No, it is parity. We already have parity in this sport. Wasting time and money and energy and everything else on this new car, it's just that. It is a waste. Stage 2, by the way, William Byron and Chris Buescher stayed in the top 10, ran up front. There were comers and goers throughout the race. We get it. The finish, by the way, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Michael McDowell, shout out, 3 straight top 10s to start the season, and Ryan Newman. Those 4 guys all finished today in the top 10. Now, I don't mean any disrespect to Ryan Newman. He's been very good. Tyler Reddick, I believe, will also be a future champion. I think William Byron could one day be the face of the sport, maybe. I think he's that good. And Michael McDowell's on a great run. So I'm not trying to disrespect any of these guys, but look at last year and look at some of these years past. We had a lot of Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski. Well, Joey Logano finished like 24th today. Is that not parity? Is that not the definition of parity? By the way, I didn't even mention Cole Custer had a top 5 run going in that final stage with 10-15 to go, and something happened. I don't know what it is. I follow Jeff Gluck on Twitter. He didn't know what it is either. Something happened to Cole Custer with like 5 laps to go, I guess, because he also would have had a top 10 finish. We do not need this new car in NASCAR. We already have parity. If you haven't seen, we have had 3 different winners to begin 2021, and none of those guys you would have bet to win that race. Michael McDowell, Christopher Bell, and William Byron. Those are the 3 winners so far in the Cup Series in 2021. NASCAR, I know you're not going to listen because I know you've already spent too much time, effort, and money, and you're not going to admit that you're wrong. We do not need this next-gen car next year. I think we've got a good thing going. Don't screw it up. But I think that's exactly what they're about to do next season. Anyway, that's next year. I'm not worried about next year. What I am worried about is next week. The Cup cars head west. They go to Las Vegas. I gave you guys a prediction at the end of last week's video. I told you Kyle Larson was going to win. He had a great car. Could have won, honestly. Ended up finishing 4th. I will say this for Vegas next week. I do think we will get a more normal winner. Now, I sat there and talked about parity, but I do think that one of the 3 Team Penske cars is going to win at Las Vegas next week. It could be Brad Keselowski. It could be Joey Logano. I hope not. Or it could be Ryan Blaney. Talk about someone who really needs a win. Ryan Blaney has had an awful start to 2021. I'm not giving up on him. He's still my champion. He might just go win Vegas next week. But we'll see, and I'll be here to recap it.
Some excitement right there. I believe that was Rudy Fugle, crew chief.
He's so passionate. I remember his wins in the Truck Series. They are some of my favorites as a crew chief. The passion that he had, the excitement was awesome.
And just the chemistry and the confidence that these two have in one another, pretty special.